Okay, cool. Well, this episode of the podcast is going to be about Survivor Series, WWE Survivor Series, which was a show that was on last night. And so we're all going to talk about how we thought the show went.
Shit.
Huh?
Shit.
Okay, so that's a good precursor to how the rest of the conversation is going to go, basically. Should we run down like the card, or should we just like?
Well, I mean, I'm happy enough to, because I didn't see the pre-show. So you were filming in the pre-show,
Yeah.
which sounded okay. Everything with the essential, then it's just okay with me.
Okay. The pre-show was pretty good. It was like a Survivor Series elimination match. And what I didn't get was why they had Goldust come back like on the pre-show. You know?
That's weird.
Yeah, like I thought Goldust he'd been away for a while, and he's a pretty big player, so I figured they're gonna have some kind of good, meaningful like return for him, and they just said, "Yeah, it's Goldust again, yay!"
Plus, the intro was pretty cool. His intro is always like pretty. It's a great entrance. You know what I mean? It's like iconic.
Yeah, exactly, man.
So if you hear his music on the like that intro, it's kind of big, so like it gets a reaction, straight off the bat.
Yeah, well, that's true. It would be good to see them kind of do something with Goldust, though. I know on Twitter he's been like going after Kevin Owens.
Has he?
Yeah. So Goldust versus Kevin Owens would be pretty sweet. I think that'd be pretty sweet if they went down that road.
I mean, pretty sweet. I don't think it would make too much sense for Kevin Owens, but just good, like, it would be good from a fan's point of view. I get where you're coming from, but Goldust isn't exactly that big of a player where it would like push Owens any further.
Well, Goldust is a former Intercontinental Champion. It would make sense. It would be. It's always a good rub for the younger guys to get a win over some of the older, more established guys.
Maybe like a brief run-in, like maybe like because like he's good at talking as well, so maybe like a brief run-in, but like not a dragged out storyline,
Well, they could go for a month or two, right? They could definitely run for a month.
Well, then you're talking about pushing Goldust.
No, I mean giving Goldust an opportunity to, obviously as Owens is a champion, he's going to have the advantage, but he's still like kind of younger guy. It's always good to get in the ring with one of the older, more established people. And I think at the end of it, Owens is going to end up with the push, as it were, because he's going to come out of it looking really good. That's the trick. You're not pushing Goldust to get like towards the Intercontinental Championship. What you're saying is Goldust is already an established player who has experience, and Owens has to be the one to watch out for this older, more experienced veteran.
It could. I think if we're talking about what I think would be the best thing for the Intercontinental Championship and Owens, the minute would probably be a Ziggler rivalry, but he's tied up with Breeze at the minute, which isn't really going over on me anyway.
Oh, you're not a big fan of the Tyler Breeze, Dolph Ziggler thing?
I like Tyler Breeze, but I just think Ziggler deserves more than just having a rivalry. Take a big clean one-off from Tyler Breeze on one of the biggest shows of the year, and also just for where he's heading. I think that's a knockback for Ziggler to rival with a guy that wasn't even huge in NXT. From what I watched in NXT, he was never a big player in NXT. He was always up around like mid-level, but never seemed to be your Owens or your Finn Balor's of NXT.
Aye.
Yeah, he might have been big as in like his talent and his like fan reaction, but he was never champion or like Ziggler. I think Ziggler is one of the top guys, like top 3, top 4 maybe, probably top 3 though. And for him to be beat clean in this guy's like debut, I think it's just a lack of Kern on Ziggler's part, like WWE creative team. I mean, not Ziggler's part. Ziggler cares a lot of things, but I think it shows how much they care about Ziggler.
I think it shows you how much they care about Breeze.
I don't think Breeze's character can really work. I don't think it's got longevity.
I think his character's great. It's such a modern character. Like many people, myself included, just hate selfie sticks, and I think he plays very well on that.
No, it's good that they're trying as creative and it's a gimmick, but I just don't think. Do you see him having like huge storylines, deep, meaningful storylines?
Yeah, exactly what Shawn Michaels was in 1990. He could be huge.
I don't know. He's not a Michaels. Like Michael's a different class.
Well, yeah, nobody is Shawn Michaels, so.
Shawn Michaels had to start somewhere. Maybe in 10 years, people will be saying nobody's Tyler Breeze.
But like, I don't know. I think some of the old school guys just right off the bat had tons of confidence, and you could just probably almost see a star shoot away. Like the Undertaker, like how they talk about the Undertaker, just right from the get go is just a big player.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like some of the new guys just seem to take too long to find their feet.
Let me ask you this, man. You said that you thought Dolph Ziggler is probably one of the top 3 in the company right now. Who are the other 2?
The other 2?
Yeah.
Definitely Cesaro. The other one apart from I would say Ziggler, Cesaro, and as much as I love Ambrose, I think he needs some sort of tweak to make him for me to consider him top 3. I think he's my personal favorite of right now. What in terms of if I analyze it,
what kind of criteria are you using to pick your top 3? I don't quite understand this.
For me, entertainment value and in-ring value.
So you think Dolph Ziggler is more entertaining than Kevin Owens or Dean Ambrose?
I'm gotta say, I've said this to Al at the weekend. I'm not majorly sold on Kevin Owens as far as an entertainer. I'm not sold on him. I'm just not. He's too. To me, he is. I know that I said this to Al as well. I know that he is great. You can tell there's something about him that is great, but he just bores me. He honestly bores me.
Right.
Rollins is obviously. I think the top 3 will be Rollins, Rollins, Cesaro, and Ziggler. But Rollins is out, so that's why I'm not really counting Rollins at the minute. I'm talking about active wrestlers.
Cesaro's also out.
Cesaro, is that why he wasn't on Survivor Series?
Yeah, 4 to 6 months apparently.
Oh man!
Shut the fucking door. What?
Yeah, he broke about it last night and separated his shoulder. I think it was.
Oh, son of a bitch!
That's not good.
That is terrible news.
That is bad news, man.
But the Silver Cloud is return is sort of in line with where Tyson Kidd's return might be.
That's it's good. They're entertaining. I thought their tag team run was brilliant, but I think Cesaro was just improved up and up so much since he became a singles competitor again. And I think if he was going to win a title, it would have to be off the momentum that he's built right now.
Yeah.
It would suck to see him just go back to tag team and intercontinental level.
Well, I don't think he's gonna be able to ride any kind of momentum straight up to the heavyweight championship. I don't know if they give him the championship just yet.
Well, we discussed this also the weekend. We think that he's going to be one of those guys that if the title eludes, that he's not ever going to get it.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you guys this, right? Because me and my brother were talking about this the other day. Dolph Ziggler, since we were talking about Dolph Ziggler, what do you think his future is going to be?
It's the sad thing. I don't think much. We said he's the guy that's not going to get the big one. He had the world title, which was great, and it was a great run with AJ and Big E. But it's not the title, which has always been the WWE title. Well, that's not actually. That's a lie. Actually, it hasn't always been the WWE title because if you remember back in the draft days, the world title actually was sometimes bigger than the WWE title.
Yep.
Cena got drafted to Raw as the WWE title, but the top and the world title went back to SmackDown.
Yeah, pretty much seen as the blame for this WWE title being covered.
Everything that's wrong with Cena.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I love it.
Yeah, I'm a big Cena guy too. But what was the discussion? Dolph Ziggler. I think for his future, WWE's going to bring back the European title, and he'll be European champion, the longest reigning European champion.
How is that at all a good idea?
No, that's not going to happen. But I think WWE want to make him European level. They want to make him just below the Intercontinental title level.
Yeah,
it's no fault of Ziggler. I don't think it's any fault of Ziggler's. I think if he has any sort of longevity or something star power, it's going to be as a heel.
Yeah, I think by now Ziggler is he's too far gone You know, I think that the WWE think the same way, that they're just like, well, Ziggler, he's a reliable hand. He's always here. He can put on a good show. You know, that's all we need him for. They're not gonna.
Let's think about this, right? Let's think about how crazy is this, right? It showed last night with Survivor Series that their go-to guy, they like now hold the title, is Sheamus. In what universe would you never make a heel Ziggler be the top guy with Triple H? Like as cocky and as good as he is, like what and how in the world does that make sense? I think there's as much as I love Sheamus being in the WWE, just from a purely Irish point of view, I don't actually see any place in WWE for Sheamus.
Really?
Nothing I see. What's that?
Really?
Yeah, honestly, there's nothing. He looks stupid. That's true. I don't think he's too like. I don't know if it's bland or too straightforward. Like he's always remains the same. I don't know. I just don't see a place for him. And unfortunately, Wade Barrett's tied into the same sort of gimmick, almost like country, like a country gimmick. You know, like he's English. You know, I know they don't always play on it, but they do talk about England a lot. They talk about Wade Barrett. I don't want it to be like a country gimmick because I think Barrett's got so much more. But as for Sheamus, I don't see much about him.
I think Sheamus works very well as a heel, which he is now. And I think his look helps that as well because it just draws him more heat, which is what you want. And also, he's a big guy. Like, you know, when he came back, he was just kind of throwing around a bunch of smaller guys, which makes his character look really good.
Like that gimmick, yeah.
And it makes him look really strong. And he's a big guy. He's bigger than a lot of the other people on the roster, which is good because that's the kind of guy you want as your champion. You want a big kind of like impossible to beat kind of guy. You know what I mean? I know Sheamus is possible to beat, but you want that kind of imposing character as your heel champion because then it makes the face who beats him look even better because they've had to go through the authority and they've had to go through this big 6 foot tall, Hulk of a man. That it makes whoever beats him look better.
I will say though, his look is better than especially for a heel role. You're right. His look does look better than the huge Muppets orange hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your take on that's Ziggler, Sheamus, Monaghan?
I like Sheamus. Like he's good in the ring for a big guy. I think it was a weird time to give him the title after making him look absolutely ridiculous in his match with New Day earlier in the night with his whole get jiggy comments.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was a weird time actually. Didn't even think about that.
Thing to do for a guy you're giving the title to 2 hours later, like
Yeah. Fair enough. If he had if he had came back and it's not like somehow came back and actually managed to beat even 2 of them.
I actually thought Ryback was going to turn heel.
So did I. That was my thought. It turned heel. It was going to be him and Kalisto, and then he's going to turn Kalisto.
Yeah, that's what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah, me too.
But it didn't.
What do you think about Ryback's future? It's going steel, like, isn't it?
I like Ryback. A lot of people don't like Ryback, and I'm not sure why. I think he
really likes the other wrestler. He's really scared about it, stuff. So
yeah, I think he's a good wrestler. He's not amazing. He's no Dolph Ziggler or whatever, but he can work. And he's again like Sheamus. He's a big kind of strong guy who has that kind of attraction element to it. Because in the past, what the WWE would do is they get these big guys in, like the Big Show or whoever, and that was kind of the spectacle, the attraction. Like, look at this guy, he's so big. How is anybody going to beat him? And I think now they're kind of bringing in smaller guys. So a guy like Sheamus or Ryback, they stand out quite a lot, and because they're so strong, they do put on quite a kind of good show and a good spectacle. So I think Ryback could, and he is over, which is kind of weird. But yeah, they could do a lot with Ryback, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
I think he was going good there as Intercontinental Champion. I think they should have actually let that run. I was kind of annoyed that Owens beat him, not because of my disdain for Owens, but because I think Owens is it's clear to tell Owens is better than Ryback. But
yeah,
just because I actually was enjoying Ryback's run and I didn't expect to like Ryback's run as champion.
Yeah, I would have had it go on a bit longer as well. It seemed a bit abrupt.
Yeah, I just hate whenever they could bring. I hate when there's a fresh new guy, like, you know, a fresh face, and they just start giving him everything. I don't like it.
Okay.
I don't like whenever like someone with big hype comes onto the show and straight off the bat they start giving them everything. I don't like that, you know, especially because a lot of the guys I did like took them years and years to get to, like, the top spot. You know, so maybe we've got a bit of gripes from that angle too, you know. Which makes me think also, I had this actually question to throw out too. What do you think about, like, in this day and age, what it means to be a multi-champion? You know, like, how many times you've held the title?
Well, I think it's a big thing now because they keep talking about it. They always keep talking about John Cena's title reigns and Ric Flair's title reigns and Triple H's title reigns, and they go on and on and on about how many times the guy has been champion. So I think they put a lot of emphasis on it to get people to think that having the championship loads is a really good thing, you know.
But what's your own personal take on it?
I have never thought that you need the belt that many times to be a champion. You know, to be a real, like whenever I started watching wrestling, it was in like 2000, I think. And Undertaker had been wrestling for about 10 years, and he had won the championship 3 times, I think. And I remember hearing that and going, well, that's awesome. Undertaker's such a big guy. He's such a legendary guy. And he only had to win the championship 3 times to make people know that he's a legendary fucking badass. I like that, you know? I think if you have to win the championship 16 times to make people realize that you're a main eventer, that's a bit much. You know what I mean? But on the flip side, it all depends on the championship runs themselves. Like, if the runs are no good, then people aren't going to remember you as a good champion.
See, my take on it is, I was thinking about this last night. I don't like it because, like you said, they do make so much emphasis on it, you know, and it gets in people's heads there, and they'll go, whoa, they're a good champion. And for, like, younger people coming into it and going, like, Undertaker probably only won, like 5 times now, is it? 4 or 5 times?
6 or 7, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
I know he hasn't won it as much times as you would imagine he has, but that's the thing, you know, like, none people get into it, they go, like, tell me how legendary Undertaker is, and they might go, like, oh, he only won it, like, you know, 5 times or whatever. And, like, I would imagine, right, in about 3 years, Roman Reigns will probably have won about 5 or 6 times.
Probably,
in the next 5 years, you know, and, like, and what annoys me is because it was, I think it just meant so much more back then also, because now you've got the Money in the Bank, and the Money in the Bank automatically, Roman Reigns now being champion, he's now a champion. Like, when they talk about Roman Reigns, they will talk about how he's been the champion.
Yeah.
Like, and that annoys me.
Former world champion.
Yeah.
That annoys me. Like, that really annoys me. And then the lose they got there, and then a month later they'll garnish. They'll have now like a rivalry, and like a month later he might win the title back, and then that'll be like, he's now a 2-time champion. It's like, but he wasn't a champion. Like, I hate that now he's called a champion because of that, you know. And like, I think the title changes hands so much these days. Like, you know, unless a big guy, unless a really top character comes along like CM Punk or Rollins, you know. But like, for quite a while there, the title was just changing hands, you know, every other month. And that's
what. Well,
it was worse when they had 2 titles as well. Because obviously Ziggler's a 2-time world champion, but he's never been a champion.
Exactly, yeah. Like, you wouldn't really consider Ziggler to have been a champion. You know, you would never think, oh, you know, because it was the world title, you know, but the world title they would call him a world champion, you know.
Not even just because it was the world title, just the way his 2 reigns went. Like, he held it for like 30 minutes on an episode of SmackDown once, and that's counted.
Yeah.
And he held it for like a month and lost it in his first defense, which was mostly because of injury, but still doesn't really register as a title reign. But
yeah,
it is. You know, he's a 2-time champion for those 2 reigns.
Which is silly though. Like, his reigns are so totally forgettable. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I personally, I actually loved his reign, because I remember, like, when he came out, like, he had the whole. I loved the Edge, Ziggler, Big E entourage. I thought it was a great angle, and I loved, like, Ziggler coming out with the title. I think Ziggler's just got a good look. Like, he's just got a look for the, you know, for wrestling, you know. And I remember he used to come out with the title, which he did when he had the Intercontinental title too as well. But he came out with the title around his waist at the back, and then he spins around and puts it to the front. I thought it was cool. He started doing that with the world title, and I remember watching him in the Odyssey. Well, SSE Arena now, but like, he was champion whenever I watched him in the Odyssey, and like, I remember just thinking, like, it was a cool time, like, whenever Ziggler was champion. But like, so I do remember. I don't remember, like you said, it's forgettable in a sense, because I don't actually remember who he rivaled. I think it was like Del Rio or something. But I only remember it because of his look with the title and the whole entourage.
It was a triple threat. He was supposed to have a triple threat with Del Rio and Swagger. Then he got injured. Del Rio and Swagger. I don't know what contenders match, and he ended up just facing Del Rio.
Right.
But like he only had one match with the world title, and he lost it.
I'm digging Del Rio at the minute.
I like Del Rio.
He's got like a real aggressive. I don't know why they've brought him with. I love Zeb as well.
Oh, Zeb is money, man. Zeb is money. I'm so glad they brought that guy back because I missed him. He was so good.
But what do you think of him teaming up though with Del Rio?
It's a brilliant idea because Zeb Coulter is a guaranteed heat magnet. He gets heat so well, and Del Rio kind of needs that right off the bat. But the kind of combination of the both is brilliant because it doesn't seem like it makes sense, but it does. Do you know what I mean? Like, you feel like Zeb Coulter wouldn't be the kind of guy to go up and extend the olive branch to Del Rio, but because he did, and it all kind of works really well, it kind of draws more heat to them. And Del Rio needs a kind of mouthpiece because as good as Del Rio is in the ring, he's never been electric on the mic. So it's good to have him with somebody who can talk to really get them over. You know what I mean?
What's your take on it now?
I disagree. I would say being money. I hate Zeb. It's pointless completely.
Oh, really?
The book Del Rio really poorly. Like, aside from the title tournament, which happened because of Zeb's injury, who has Del Rio fought since he came back? Like, he fought Cena in the first night, and then he took with R-Truth 4 times in a row after that.
Nice.
What's the point?
Well, yeah, that was huge. Yeah, I suppose you got a point. Why did they bring him back with such an impact? He beat Cena clean to win the title. Like, that was huge. You would have thought he was going to go on then to be like in the title picture. You know, like,
yeah.
If something did happen, especially to Rollins or whatever, or something, like, you know, you would expect him because of that huge win when he came back, you know, to be right up there. Yeah, that's true.
Well, I figured that what they were going to do was just kind of like eventually lead into some kind of proper contender match, and then once Seth Rollins went down, they were like, right, well, we have to do this tournament, so the plans for the IC title and the US title are going to have to be put on hold because it makes the IC champion and the US champion look really good that they got so far in this heavyweight championship tournament, as you would expect them to, because they're champions. You'd expect them to kind of go pretty far. So they still are able to look good without technically defending their belts, which is always a good move. Yeah,
I agree with that, actually. Basically, who Del Rio faces now that he's out of the title tournament.
Well, that's the trick, man.
I'm done with him.
They got to pick somebody really good to have as his first defense. Otherwise, it's not going to mean a whole lot, you know.
I don't think that the IC title and US title at the minute gets enough praise. Remember, like, I loved around WrestleMania time when there was such like attention around the IC title. Because for a long time there wasn't. You know, like, I remember whenever Punk was champion. At the same time Punk was champion, I think Zack Ryder was US champion and was Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Like, and
he was world champion.
Oh, he's world champion, yes, because he's never been Intercontinental champion. He was.
He won the Intercontinental title last year, but then gave it up.
He did. Yeah.
But no, like, around that time, like, champions were really celebrated, especially Punk brought them all out, and they were like on the ring talking. I think like they were really celebrated, but like, it seems like a lot of times IC title can just be a step. Like, well, essentially it is kind of you would like it to be a stepping stone to the next level, you know, like the way it is for Owens at the minute. But I don't know, I would just like to see more because especially because they made a good point. I like that they brought it up at WrestleMania that, you know, the best matches are the mid card people that are the IC title people.
Right, yeah, trying to put a point.
Yeah, they usually do put on the best matches, you know. So I would like to see a lot more, like the kind of attention it got around WrestleMania time for both titles.
Yeah, but that's the way they always do things. They always book WrestleMania and then like spend the rest of the year trying to book the next WrestleMania. They don't book the way they should do. They don't keep stuff consistent. That's the one thing that annoys me the most about that company, is that they just don't stay consistent. They'll push somebody and then forget about them. And then that's the problem. It's like if you just leave the guy off TV after you've pushed him for 2 months, people are going to forget about him. You need to just keep him on TV. Like Damien Sandow. What the fuck did they do there?
Oh, Jesus.
All you got to do is keep that guy on TV and he'll be over. Just keep him doing something. Just put him there, for fuck's sake. You've got 3 hours of fucking Raw to do it, right? It's so easy. Yeah. And they can't find a space for him. It's ridiculous. And then now he's not over, but that's because we haven't seen him for 6 fucking months, you know?
They've got 5 hours of TV, like.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. They've more than 5 hours, and they don't have time for like half the people on their fucking show. It's silly. Because after that Miz thing, Sandow was so hot. It was, you know, like they could have done so much with him, and they just forgot about him. Plenty of people. Jack Swagger's been forgot about, you know, and Adam Rose and a bunch of other guys.
Well, Adam Rose is shit.
I like Adam Rose.
I forgot about him for a reason.
I like Adam Rose.
I like Adam Rose. He had a stupid gimmick. Like, I like the gimmick at start, but it showed that he could actually work with the gimmick.
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah. Like, he took what he was given and he made it, well, he did his best to make it work, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like a lot of superstars couldn't do that.
He wasn't lumbered with the best gimmick of all time, and he gave it a fair shot, I think.
So, go back to Survivor Series. Want to give a rundown of your personal highs and lows?
Oh, shoot. My personal high is that they're making the Edgy Christian show.
Yeah.
Because
I like that.
Me and my brother were talking. He was talking about getting the network all day yesterday, and we were talking, and then we started joking about how like the one thing that would guarantee us like watching the show all the time is if they made the Edgy Christian show and put it on every week, and we kind of like nudged it, you know, good one, buddy. And then 4 hours later, they announced the Edgy Christian show, and we both like sent each other a message going, "Holy shit! How did we predict the Edgy Christian show? That's just crazy."
Stole the idea from you to have a bug in your house.
Well, why don't they listen to me about all the other stuff I say? Fucking push Sando, for fuck's sake.
We discussed the other day like what you wanted to happen at Survivor Series, and it was a much better idea than what actually went down.
Yeah, it was.
It was so much better. I thought.
I was but you know, they never fucking listen to me about the good stuff.
Were you asking what his idea was now?
Yeah. You can't just say you had a better idea than what actually happened.
I told you. You were there. You were drinking though, so you might have forgot.
Yeah, because we're all being this very, but our listeners weren't there.
That's true.
Yeah, people.
To be fair though, they probably were there.
Yeah,
that's our audience, was those 4 people we were drinking with.
No, what was the idea again though?
The idea was to have the finals of the Survivor Series tournament be Dean Ambrose versus somebody else, whoever Reigns was fighting. Who was he fighting? Del Rio? Yeah, so it would be Del Rio versus Ambrose, and have something happen to Roman Reigns to stop him from getting to the final, so that the final is not Ambrose versus Reigns. So you have Ambrose versus Del Rio. Ambrose wins. It's all, yay, celebrations. And Roman Reigns comes out. He's all happy too. Yay, we're best friends. Yay. And then whatever pay-per-view comes next, TLC, Ambrose defends against somebody else, while let's just say Reigns and Del Rio fight because Del Rio put him out of the tournament, so Reigns wants his revenge. Some bullshit, doesn't matter. Then at Royal Rumble, Reigns wants to fight Ambrose. He's like, I'm technically number 1 contender, it's my turn for a title shot. And Ambrose doesn't want anything to do with it. He's like, no, I don't want to fight you because I've seen how, you know, I've been in your team for 3 years. I've seen how much of a badass you are. I've seen how kick-ass you are. I don't want to be on the wrong side of that. So I'm the champion. You don't get a title shot. That's the end of it. So Ambrose kind of turns heel because he just doesn't want to fight Reigns. And Reigns is getting annoyed because he has earned the title shot and he's been denied the title for so long that he really wants it by now. So then the Royal Rumble happens. I guess Roman Reigns wins the Royal Rumble to give him an excuse to fight at WrestleMania. But you could work it either way. You could have Reigns like come second in the Rumble and then earn his place at whatever pay-per-view comes after that. But the point of it is, Ambrose ducks Reigns all the way up to WrestleMania, and then some kind of weird bugging happens where he has no other choice but to fight Roman Reigns. at WrestleMania. So that's the first time Reigns and Ambrose have ever fought in each other in the ring. You hype that up. That's a really big, important thing. You hype that up a lot. And then Ambrose is coming in as a heel. Reigns is coming in as a face who has a lot of push behind him, because by now people really want to see him as champion. He's had that build up. He's had all of this time to want the belt, and all the fans are behind him. Bam! WrestleMania happens. Reigns wins the championship. Is a new babyface champion. Dean Ambrose has held the championship for a couple of months, solid months, and looks like a good contender. Everybody wins. Everybody's happy.
And then Sheamus cashes out at WrestleMania. Raw wins.
Well, yeah. Then my plan was, as a joke, and then the next day on Raw, Roman Reigns loses the belt to The Miz, because that's the way the WWE book stuff, But that's how I would have done it.
I thought about this though after the whole shit happened at the main event. I thought, in this idea though, where would Sheamus come in? Because Sheamus eventually would cash in. But then I thought you could make him cash in and just make him be one of those guys who don't win the title when they cash in. Well,
that could have been the main event at TLC could have been Sheamus versus Dean Ambrose, or it could have easily been avoided, or the Royal Rumble or something, or use a Sheamus's briefcase against Reigns' Royal Rumble win, and then they have a fight at No Way Out to see who the real contender is.
I'm starting to not like this briefcase, to be honest.
well, the briefcase doesn't like you either.
No, because the briefcase usually for me, I love it, but now it just seems like it's WWE's safe place. It's like it's just like a safe option. I don't know.
Hey, let me throw you this one out. My brother said this the other night about the briefcase. He said, "What if somebody comes out to the ring and cashes in the briefcase and loses, right? And then says that didn't count because there's no contract in the briefcase." He can just because nobody checks the briefcase. He could just say, "Oh, I lost, but it doesn't count because the actual contract's at the back, so fuck you." And then they go, "Oh shit, we should check the briefcase." Oh, duh.
Yeah.
Why doesn't somebody do that? That'd be a good idea.
Yeah, rest of the way logic.
Yeah, we don't open the briefcase. We just assume it's there. It's probably there.
But going down to what I was saying, highs and lows, for myself, I think the biggest high of the night was the whole match of Ambrose versus Kevin Owens.
It was a good match.
Spectacular.
Oh, was it Owens? How did you say he's your high point?
No, I said though,
consistency.
as much as I judge him, I do say he's
you
great.
judge him.
Yeah, I agree that was match of the night, but I just don't non-Owens fan.
No, like I said though, it's I know by looking at him, he's got something that he's great. It's more of his talking that annoys me than his wrestling. In ring, he's the only beef I had was his pop-up powerbomb. I'm still not a huge fan, but in saying that there though, it's dominant. It's very rare it gets reversed. Like when it's he throws one against the ropes, it's probably over. But that's why I love that match. That ending was spectacular. Like I thought Owens for sure was winning that, because that was the only thing I had doubts about was it going to be Owens or Ambrose against Reigns? That was the only thing. I knew it was going to be Reigns, and Reigns supposed I could go on and win it, but I didn't know if it was going to be which one of those was going to be.
Yeah.
But so whenever I've seen Owens hit the two sweet chin musics or the super kicks, I was like, oh, it's got to be it now. But then Ambrose reversed it and hit Dirty Deeds. I thought it was a great sell of Dirty Deeds as well.
It was. Yeah. It was so good.
So that was my high. Another high would have been the Divas match, because we've harped on about this Revolution for ages, but shit all has happened at the Revolution. Yeah. So while they were talking about the Revolution, there were still much better Divas matches happening in NXT.
Yep.
So it was good. Yeah, but it was good for the people that don't watch NXT to get a taste of a proper diva rivalry. And a diva.
This is what happens when nobody has to carry a ballot through a Divas match. Get an actual good match.
Yeah, well, I still think the Divas matches I've seen in recently in NXT were better than Paige versus Charlotte, but it was still a great match.
It was a good match, yeah.
It was, so that was a high for me. I would say a low would have been no Cesaro, but like you said, Cesaro was injured anyway, so that was it. I would hated that, but then it made sense. He told me he was injured. Another high was Undertaker's entrance. Thought his entrance was brilliant. Paying homage to the whole the Titantron where it showed his whole evolution.
It's all different.
Yeah.
They even had the American Badass, the bandana.
Yeah.
People acknowledge that.
Yeah.
So, that was nice.
I like that too. Actually, I thought the same thing. I just think Undertaker deserves so much praise, and it's coming to the end of his career, and that was a 25 years anniversary. I thought it was good homage to it. But I wouldn't say the match was a high point because as much as I love Undertaker, and I'm not even going to blame that on the age of Undertaker and Kane because they might be getting old, but Dylan also made a point of older guys still have that experience, in-ring experience, and craftiness. But I might actually put it down to the Wyatt family. See with that big fucking muscle thing. What do you call him?
Strowman.
I just think the Wyatts actually have lost the appeal with that big dumbass, and so that's a bit harsh. I don't know. He's probably got a good IQ, but but no, I don't know. The Wyatts have told. I think Bray's too good. Bray's too good to be showed as a guy that hides behind people.
No, I think that's exactly the way this should go. That's exactly what they should do, but they should do it way better than they're doing it right now. They shouldn't. They're not supposed to be pushovers. That's the whole point. They're supposed. The problem I have with that match was it ended really quickly. It just ended. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the Wyatt should have really kind of took Undertaker and Kane apart, and it should not have been easy. That's the hook. Undertaker and Kane should have won, but it should have been a real fucking struggle for them to win. Yeah. And not because they're old, but because these are the new guys and they're, they mean business. But instead of that, it was all just a little bit of a walk in the park. And then, because this way, if you have, one guy surrounded by 4 or 5 other bigger, stronger looking guys, it makes the guy in the middle like a brilliant heel because he is a little bit protected, but he's also not afraid to step in and get his hands dirty when he needs to. That's the hook. That's a really good angle. But of course, if they don't do anything with that, then this, it's all irrelevant.
Yeah. I think the fact that Bray was in the match, but didn't really... The fact that he was in the match, but let Luke Harper start it was weird. He either wants to fight or he doesn't.
Yeah.
Odd. I think him and Harper are by far the best two in the ring. So
yeah.
It was those two that came into it. But I don't know, there was something just felt off with the whole match.
Yeah.
Joe, I think as well with Wyatt, I love Wyatt, but the reason or a part of why he's not out, I don't think why he's as given opportunities that he should be given, in my opinion, is it is very much a reality era, and he's very much a big gimmick. It's okay if the Undertaker, because the Undertaker's a complete bona fide legend, so Undertaker can do whatever the hell he wants, and he's going to be over, and everyone's going to appreciate and love it. But I think Bray's the only real kind of whimsical,
I would not use the word whimsical.
What, not whimsical? That was the wrong word. Fantasy kind of, or horror. I don't know. He's a complete gimmick, But I like the gimmick, but I think in the reality era, it just doesn't. It goes over people's heads. Because people are like, "What? What's he talking about?"
It's so easy to make it work, though. Let me throw this little scenario down for you. Right? Imagine this. Imagine, for example, Bray Wyatt was the Money in the Bank champion, right? Just an example. And he's just sitting on the briefcase for a long time. He doesn't do anything. And then sometime, whoever the champion is, let's for the sake of an argument say it's Roman Reigns, is in a big match and he wins. And then the Wyatts come out, but all the Wyatts come out, right? And so all the other 4 just beat the fuck out of the champion because technically the match hasn't started. And then Bray Wyatt cashes in his championship opportunity thing and then wins straight up like that. It makes it seem like he's a super heel because he needed those 4 other guys to help him win. And now he's walking around as a champion, and to get to him, you need to beat these 3 or 4 other guys who are really big and strong and imposing. And then, by that point, you stick the tag titles on Rowan and Harper, and make the whole group look like some kind of unstoppable force.
Which I thought.
I don't know briefcase really suits Bray's character.
But that's the hook. I mean, it's an easy in for him to win the championship, and then he can just kind of proclaim himself the best champion of all time whenever everybody knows he isn't, and that gets it's more heat being drawn to him.
Yeah, if you really the title around Bray would be a good thing. And I thought that would have happened by now. I thought the way the Wyatts were going, especially at the start, they were although the Shield, the Wyatts were getting better the Shield, So I thought that around that time that's how it's going to go. Bray as champion, then as tag champs.
I don't know why they did, man. It's all right there, That's what annoys me about that company is that they have so many storylines and stuff that's right there. It's all just right there, and then they just don't do it. They do something else. Why bother?
Yeah, the thing that pisses me off is the fact that it's all predetermined. It's all planned. How fucking easy is that shit? How easy should that be? You can tell, especially this day and age with the internet and everything. You can tell who's hot, who's not, who's over, who the fans really want to see, but yet somehow they still keep fucking up. It's
exactly.
You've got everything for you. You've got all the database you need to create something awesome, but still a lot of shit gets filtered through.
Yeah, man. I don't know what they're thinking.
It's imagine if any other sport in the world could do this, could predetermine results or whatever else. No. I think that's a part of what makes sports good is the unpredictability, and I think that's a part of what makes WWE kind of shit for people is the predictability. They make it so predictable, and it's
it'll be even more predictable if they just give everyone what they want all the time.
Yeah, that's all. I suppose it is a lot trick. I suppose it is a lot trickier than it seems. But they try too hard with certain, me and you were talking about this here now. They try too hard with some people, and they just don't give it up. They want their idea, and no matter how much it's not going over with, essentially who determines what's happening in WWE is actually the fans, and no matter how much you try to make Roman Reigns whatever you want him to be, it's not going over. You know what I mean?
Well, I think it is going over though.
Getting over in time, and I think a good example of them giving in is Batista came back and was supposed to be the champion, but he never was. Fans just weren't having it.
Okay, that's a good point. Yeah,
and I think Reigns is winning more and more people over.
I think so. Yeah,
he is very good in the ring. He sucks on the mic, which is bad luck for him.
Another low point, I didn't actually finish it. The only other low point I would have as well, apart from Sheamus, but that stage I just gave up anyway because Ambrose didn't win, so I just gave up at that point.
Nice.
But no, the match is the match between Reigns and Ambrose, it should have had a bigger feel to it. I thought they would have done maybe a stir down, to get the fans all into it.
That match just ended as well. That bummed me out too.
That match just it sucked how short it was. You said, it just ended.
Yeah, that was so weird.
The spear kind of came out of nowhere. It was a good spear, good a thing Ambrose does, the whole running back and forth.
Yeah,
good wee spot in the match, but it just sort of ended. Didn't feel like that built up to an end.
No, that's exactly it.
It's ended. That was it.
Ambrose had kicked out of a spear and Reigns had kicked out of Dirty Deeds. It was a solid match overall. I don't know what that was again. I don't know.
It just seemed really rushed, and they could have easily, even with the bullshit shenanigans that happened after the match, they could have added another 5 minutes to that match, and it wouldn't have been a problem.
Yeah, why did Triple H have to come out before Sheamus?
But that's it. I looked at the time and why is this ended so quickly? And then Triple H come out and oh, it's ended so quickly because Triple H has to fucking stick his nose in everything again. That's what it is. Of course, we need TV time for Triple H. Of course.
So what happens now is Sheamus now the Rollins, and they're going to keep harping on about how good Sheamus is now?
I'd assume so.
Yeah, it seems like Triple H and him were hugging and stuff. He's now the authorities guy.
Yeah.
Rollins comes back.
Yeah, that's just stupid. I don't know if you have a long reign. I assume Reigns will get it pretty soon.
Yeah, if he doesn't win it, I'd say he will win it at WrestleMania, but knowing those guys, they'll probably jump the gun and do it at the Royal Rumble or something.
Yeah,
I think people will go ape shit if he wins the Royal Rumble again, though. So WrestleMania is the spot for him.
If they're not planning the best ever Royal Rumble ever this year, it's just, I don't know.
Last year's was not so good, was it?
The last 2 years have been like, you had to wipe your eyes and go, is this actually happening?
Yeah, we're like, am I dreaming this? Is this real?
Yes, fucking for real. Like 2 years in a row. It's not going to be a gimmick, is it, that Royal Rumble shit now?
I hope not, man. I hope not.
The year before last it was a predictable outcome, but it was a decent match. But last year, where Big Show and Kane just sort of shit on everyone the fans like throughout the whole match.
That was
really,
not so good.
It was horrible Royal Rumble last year.
Oh,
not so good.
And then The Rock, I was thinking about the other day actually, that Royal Rumble, and like how The Rock came out and shit. Just like, I was like, what's going on here?
That was such bullshit. What was that about? I love The Rock, man, but like, why have him if he's not gonna do anything? That's silly.
Yeah, why have him there and not be in the match or something? Like, it's just like the only coming out to save his cousin. It's like, what?
Yeah, that's stupid.
It was the stupidest Royal Rumble ever. But no, there's too many good players are out right now. Because like actually in Real Hood, like I said about like Cesaro, Ziggler, all there. But in Real Hood, I think the top three. Now that I know Cesaro's out, also, I think the top three players are out, which is Rollins, Cesaro, and Brand. I think they are the top three, like, and they're all out.
Well, plus John Cena and Randy Orton are out as well.
With John Cena? My God, no, I like to do like John Cena, but I think in this day and age, Cena and Orton aren't really, they're maybe coming towards their end of their
I think Orton is. I think Orton's only got a couple more years left in him. I think he would be quite content to kind of like, because he's done a lot. I think he'd be quite content to kind of step back and maybe not retire, but like semi-retire and take it easy. But Cena could probably go for a long time.
Yeah, probably.
I could see Cena going for another 10 years, man.
Cena's, it's not Cena, actually. It's a credit to Undertaker what you said there about, like, they've only got a few years maybe left in them. That's true. Like, do you think there's ever going to be another Undertaker, like, 25 years?
Cena could probably do it.
Cena, maybe, yeah. Cena, probably.
Right, because the last, 6-7 years, Undertaker wrestling maybe 2 or 3 times a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Cena could easily keep going if he reduces his schedule like that over time.
Yeah, I can see that, man. I can see that.
But I think
how long has he been
out? It makes sense for Undertaker because he had the streak to come back for every year.
Yeah.
Would it make sense for Cena not to be around and then just show up for WrestleMania every year?
Yeah, I would, because it's WrestleMania and they always pull out the big stars for WrestleMania.
But, like, say 5 years down the line, is Cena going to put on as good a match as he's putting on now? And what's the point? Like, what would he do at WrestleMania? Like, there's always a point for Undertaker. So what would be the point of Cena coming?
Oh, like, at some point, if Cena's that big, they'll be able to find stuff for him to do. They will. And Cena's not the kind of guy to work one match a year. Like, if he was around, he would be working a couple of matches. Probably around WrestleMania. It's like Royal Rumble till whatever comes after WrestleMania. He'd probably work a couple of months and then, get hype for WrestleMania and then kind of take it easy the rest of the year.
I think it's pretty great that we went almost an hour now and we haven't even mentioned John Cena. It just shows how, like, times are changing.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, don't get me wrong, I actually am a big fan of Cena and I hope he goes on to do even like greater things he's done now, but like for a while there, all you could really talk about was Cena.
Yeah. It's good that they're giving people a shot and a chance to kind of grow when Cena's not there, because Cena's a good guy for them to work with, but it's always a good chance for him not to be kind of in the shadow. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But Cena's one of those guys, like an Undertaker. Like, you gotta admire those guys that like actually just love the business and stay and work for the business. Like work hard for it. Like The Rock, as great as he was, didn't last as long as Cena. Mm-hmm. We wanted different things, but Cena just stays in it for the love of the business. Which that's what a big reason why I love Cena.
Yeah, he does seem to really like the business, and he's pretty good. So
who else is going to speak up there of longevity? Ziggler's been around for quite a while now, hasn't he?
When did he come in? 2006?
Yeah, near 10 years. Longer if you include his,
Spirit
Squad shtick.
Yeah.
Which of course we do. Of course we include
Oh,
that.
yeah, of course. Who was he? Was he Mickey or Nick?
He was Nicky,
He
yeah.
wasn't Mickey, he was.
No, not that. But Mickey was someone else. Mickey was great, but he was Nicky.
Nicky, yeah. He was, yeah.
Because his real name is Nick, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Cool. Survivor Series.
Push Kenny from the Spirit Squad after that.
Kenny had that fur around his neck and all, and had the leg drop.
He had the big leg drop thing that he did.
Kenny was the one that was that was pushed after all that. Yeah.
Yeah, they put him in like a team with Fleur and stuff, and then
Just shot the hell.
not being around. Weird.
I read an article earlier on that said that someone was talking about the feelings on Survivor Series, and they were saying about like how they think this is the lowest the creative has been since like '95. They said like because around '95, '96, they said a lot of wrestlers, their gimmick was a profession, you know, like a lawyer, a policeman, you know, like that kind of thing. So this person made like how the creative is so low right now. He thinks like it's the lowest it's been in a long time.
I think it's different time. Like you couldn't have someone come out doing that now and get over. Just wouldn't.
That what he says it was so shitty back then.
So you're saying the creative, as in the gimmicks for the characters, are shitty?
So he's saying it's the worst it's been since then.
Yeah, since then he thought it was like that was a terrible time.
Yeah, but do you really think that's true? Do you really think that right now it's as shitty as somebody coming out who was a repo man? I think it's a lot better now. Like
it's a lot better. Yeah,
that's a silly argument to make. I think what they mean is what they mean is creative. It just isn't writing the kind of storylines they want to see, which is silly.
They don't mean like they're not saying like that's the reason, but they're just pretty much saying. The only time they remember being this shitty was when they were doing that. So I think they're just saying it's creatively right now it's kind of shit.
But again, though, is it creatively shitty? Because I think like they kind of hit like peaks and troughs when it comes to pay-per-views. Some of them are really good, some of them are really bad, but it all kind of evens its way out. And it's like overall, I don't think the product's terrible because they've got enough good guys to put on good matches and good stuff so that you can still watch the shows. That's what I think. I don't think it might not be as electrifying as it was in the Attitude Era. But again, people forget, you Carter said earlier that you felt the belt had been hot shotted around a lot recently. Whereas in the Attitude Era, it got shot around all the time. I mean, it was like people would have 2 or 3 month reigns. It was silly. I mean, that they changed hands in the Attitude Era way more than they do now. So I think there's a bit more stability to the writing. I don't think it's as bad as people think it is. I think it's just people on the internet are just frustrated that their favorite guys aren't the main guy right now, which is a silly argument to me.
Well, when you think about it though, as well, when you actually think about what storylines are happening right now, what storylines are really gripping and intriguing?
Well, I was interested in the Bray Wyatt one, but of course they didn't really like pull the trigger on that the way they should have. And the Seth Rollins authority thing, you know, we've seen it before, but, you know, it works. And Seth Rollins is doing a very good job on it. And now that Sheamus is in the picture, we're going to have that kind of heel dynamic where they say, oh, don't worry about Seth Rollins, Sheamus is the new guy. And they're going to, you know, it's not going to be the same as the Seth Rollins one. So that's going to be a good gimmick to work. And I've liked Del Rio's stuff since he's come back. I know you're not a big fan of Zeb Calder, but I thought it worked really well. And I've liked Owen's stuff since he's been around. There's lots of good stuff out there.
And I think even like long term, the whole how Reigns keeps getting so close to the title and then having it taken from him.
Yeah, exactly.
They're building the Reigns getting an actual title reign.
Yep,
that's but will it mean that much now?
Yeah, it will, because he's always so close. Even when he was champion, it's like, well, you know, it's still got taken away from you without, like they did a brilliant bit where they showed Reigns' face really close up as he was kind of like lying on the mat, kind of like putting it together, going, "Did I really lose the belt that quick?" You know, that's brilliant. Yeah. That's really good. You know, there's really definitely a story there.
Confetti everywhere and him all upset.
Exactly, it looked brilliant. Like when he
was walking out with the confetti, some pieces were still falling. Like, you know, a little bit of confetti would still fall off the roof, but like as he was walking around with confetti everywhere, you know, like just out like pissed that he lost the gate. Yeah, I suppose like yeah, but only if they really make Reigns now like really aggressive, like really just frustrated and pissed off, and like none of this cocky kind of like none of this like subtle cockiness about him, like kind of like I'm gonna win, believe that. Like now he's just pissed. Now he's just like I'm just pissed off now. And just comes like full steam ahead for the Authority.
That's it, man. That's easily what they could do heading into WrestleMania. That's the perfect kind of build for Reigns.
Was that now?
You have to cut this bit out.
Yeah. Cardboard cut out.
Maybe we'll just leave it in. We'll leave this bit in.
Richie, not for the just brought her down to go to the toilet. Only here for 10 minutes, like. Well, she took a thing of Tic Tac out of the door and she put all the Pringles in that bowl. She doesn't like it.
I see.
Yeah.
What?
What's everybody laughing at? What day then?
Just like the complete cut of convo. We thought you were trying to discuss something, and then we were like, "What was that point now?" And you were like, "Tic Tacs."
Right, what was said before?
I have no idea.
Of course, I was saying that the only thing I would like now going forward for Reigns is if he drops this sort of subtle cockiness act and like just now goes full on frustration and aggressive towards the Authority.
Like, give him a match, or will he have to win the Royal Rumble?
No, he'll most likely fight him at TLC.
Yeah, that's probably what's gonna happen. I don't know who else would fight Sheamus at TLC.
No, maybe Ambrose. I don't know.
But
maybe the Authority will make a point of it not being Reigns.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's gotta have backlash for Spear and Triple H, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting fed up talking about like forget about Ambrose, talking about like getting close to the title and never getting it. How close to Ambrose came all these times.
Well, he's done pretty good, but again, like they need to keep his character. They need to give more of a build. Like it's good that he's on TV all the time, but if you want to have a guy like that be the champion, they need to have some kind of build up. And again, what I don't understand is why they don't have a big build up with a couple of guys during Royal Rumble, because if they have a couple of guys trying to be number one at WrestleMania, then it adds to the uncertainty of it, and then they go, oh, well, maybe anybody could win it, but they always kind of focus on one guy, and what they should do, so like now is they should really make Ambrose into a contender to make you guys think that maybe he could win the Rumble and maybe he could, main event WrestleMania. It's probably not going to happen, but you want that build up there, because then if it doesn't happen, he's still got stuff to do after the Royal Rumble, because he's still been built up and he's still a big guy,
That's exactly it. That's why the Rumble has been stale the last couple of years, because before there was a few guys we were like, oh, who's going to win here, but like it seems the past 2 years, the more and more people got eliminated, you were like, yep, they're definitely winning it. It was never like a last four, a big four, and you're like, who's going to win a big four? It was like eliminated. Yeah, okay, we're getting the picture now. We know we're sure who's going to win it, and I think it's been definitive 2 years in a row, and that's why Royal Rumble has been so stale. Well,
they could change it this time.
But yeah, you're right. They should have. That's exactly right. They should have like a few people in the running. Like a few people that's harping on about the Royal Rumble and that actually are true contenders. Build them up to true contenders.
Exactly. But now is the time to start that, man. Now is the time to fucking get that going. But
I don't know what's happened with Reigns. Their plans for Reigns just keeps falling apart.
Well, you never know. Maybe this was the plan the entire time.
I don't know. I think round
I think he was always supposed to beat Rollins, but then he cashed in on.
Yeah.
Like, just being champion was always the long-term plan. A couple out of Survivor Series, man.
Yep.
But
then
yeah,
I'm basing that on absolutely nothing. That's just
yeah, we just made that up.
so going forward, who do we think is going to rival for each title now? US title. Who do we think?
Swagger.
R-Truth.
I was gonna say R-Truth. Can I still say R-Truth?
Good God.
I like R-Truth.
I don't.
He does a funny dance.
He's got a funny rap song.
I like R-Truth though. I think he can work, but again, they don't do anything with him. Like Del Rio versus R-Truth makes no sense because where has R-Truth been for the last 4 months? It doesn't make any sense. They
did have that great spot where he came out to say he was going to win the Money in the Bank match, and
that
then
was great.
Cobra Kane was like, "You're not in the match," and you're like, "Oh, my bad," and he just walked away again.
That was pretty good. But more of that stuff. Just keep him on TV and doing stuff, and then people get behind him.
He's funny as hell. He is. That was one of the funniest moments ever in WWE. Because me and Al have been talking about the Money in the Bank, and we were trying to remember who was in the match and how likely it was they were going to win or not. And we talked about it. We couldn't remember. We're like remembered most of them, but there's one or two we were unsure of. We're like, yeah, that's definitely them in the match. And then, I think we both thought, is R-Truth in it? We kind of had a thing, because R-Truth had been in the WrestleMania match for the Intercontinental title. We're kind of like, oh, R-Truth's not in it. But then, literally 2 days later on Raw, then R-Truth came out, and I was like, son of a bitch, it is R-Truth. And then Kane's like, you're not even in the match. And then he's like, oh, really? And cause I was convinced, it was R-Truth, got that wrong, but it was so funny. It worked so well because it completely didn't see it coming.
Yeah,
but
it was very well done. The comedy spot.
Yeah, R-Truth's funny, but
yeah.
But he's just one of those guys now that's a worker for them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
There's too many guys that got the Miz, R-Truth.
But the Miz is just the worst thing that ever happened, though. So.
Yeah, I don't hate the Miz. I don't know why Miz gets
whoa! You don't like Kevin Owens and you don't hate the Miz. What?
Because I think I still credit the Miz for Damien Mizdow's success.
Well, you're very wrong.
No, because
it was awesome long before he was ever related to the Miz.
No, but
dude, Damien Sandow. But Damien Sandow was the fun part of that. That was the way he reacted and the stuff he did. Damien Sandow was the thing. He was the reason that team was a success. The Miz is just he's the worst.
No.
What do you mean no?
No, I just mean no. The Miz, no. The Miz without Miz, there was no Miz now. And that was shown. The Miz is still on TV every week. We're Sandow.
Yeah, but that's the problem. Is that they should have capitalized after that.
He's always on that show, the Miz show, whatever it's called.
Not every week. He pops up once a month to stand in the background while the people who have a storyline go on and chat about it.
That is a fair point. Since that Damien Sandow split, what has the Miz done?
Been awesome.
No, but he's physically incapable of that.
The Miz is okay in the ring, and he is not great on the mic. He's
not on the mic into the ring, and he's not great on the mic.
Do you know the real reason why I love the Miz? Right, here's the shocking truth. No, because remember that guy Matt Capioli, or whatever you call him?
Yeah.
Or was it Matt Napoleon? Whatever it was.
Yeah, it was definitely Matt Napoleon.
Yeah. Well, good guy and everything, but the Miz was close with him.
Yeah.
I don't think they were on the same season of Tough, but Miz obviously was friends with him. And after he, it was found out about his he was diagnosed with the tumor and everything. I remember reading an article the Miz wrote. Back then, the Miz was a complete nobody, and Miz had wrote this, because it was really emotional. I watched the video where Matt gave up the title in the, what did you call FCW? Was it?
I think it was OVW.
OVW, yeah. I watched the video of Matt giving up the title, and it was really emotional because it was obviously a real life thing, a real life fan, and the fans loved him, down there, and it was emotional. He was crying. He gave up his title, and he had to tell everyone about his, what he's diagnosed with, and everything, and then Miz was close with him, so Miz wrote this article, and he was like, it sort of hit. I connected with it because I just watched the video before I read this article. So I was reading the article about the Miz wrote, and he had said about how much of an inspiration Matt was to him, and he said he's going to win the title one day. And he's Matt's he realized he has to go for it. He actually just lived life, and he said like he's one day he'll be a champion. And this is back when Miz was like absolute nobody. He was barely on TV, and then
As opposed to now.
Yeah, but it came full circle, and he did it. He became champion. I never would have ever back then. I think most people would have been the same. Would have seen him be predicted that he was going to be champion. But I just loved how he actually said he would be champion. He said one day after like watching that whole thing with Matt, he like how like emotional he got, and then at the end of the article he said one day he's going to be champion.
Yeah, whoa! But the Miz has been saying that for a long time. Even before he met Matt, he's been saying like since he was on that stupid reality show. He's just been going, I'm going to be the real champion. Like since like he was born, he was probably been saying that. And then to tie it in to the terrible tragedy of one of his friends. What a selfish cunt.
No, but whatever. I just love how no one else believed in the Miz, but the Miz believed in the Miz.
I don't even think the Miz believes in the Miz.
The Miz believed in the Miz. The Miz is the Miz's biggest fan.
The Miz, but that's true. But the Miz is so bad that I think even the Miz goes, dude, I can't do this. What the fuck?
No, the Miz is fucking awesome.
Wow. Seriously? We are going to have a fight.
Miz is awesome.
I could beat the Miz up. That says an awful lot about the Miz.
No, the Miz is awesome.
He's not. No. Let's be serious here. Let's use real proper words. Let's not say he's awesome.
He was the Shawn Michaels of.
Oh, he genetic the life out of that. Don't even mention.
No, he definitely did.
He was the Shawn Michaels. Morrison.
Don't ever compare Shawn Michaels and the Miz. That's like the worst thing you could ever do.
Miz did it.
Miz didn't do anything, man.
Miz part himself to HBK.
Don't ever. Oh, wow, that's unbelievable. People are gonna lynch you for comparing the Miz to Shawn Michaels.
No, what I'm talking about is
the thousands of followers this podcast has here.
They're gonna be pissed. They're gonna be pissed.
Talking about the whole Morrison Miz thing. How Miz used to always say that Morrison was the Jannetty. Even back then, you were like, Morrison is hot shit. Morrison is not the Jannetty. He is fucking HBK's second coming.
Yeah.
But who was right? Again, he predicted it right. Morrison was Jannetty. He was the HBK.
Why was Morrison the Jannetty?
Where is he now, Al?
He's still wrestling.
Talking about in the Indies, doing a lot better than the Miz.
Yeah, he's still on Lucha Underground, making waves for himself.
That's a real thing.
And he can wrestle. That was the problem. Like Marty Jannetty was the Marty Jannetty because he wasn't as good as Shawn Michaels. Like the Miz can have all the push in the world, but he's never going to be as good as John Morrison. These are facts.
Oh, these are facts. Well, I don't see Morrison living in the streets of Mexico.
That's right. You don't see Morrison living on the streets of Mexico.
Yeah, well, is Morrison not broke now?
No.
Like, living in the slums of Mexico?
No, he doesn't live in the slums of Mexico.
No, I get Morrison's awesome. I've actually watched a video recently of him. He is awesome, but I mean, he couldn't cut it in WWE like Miz.
Well,
he's just not the cut in WWE. If he was in WWE, he'd be much higher in the card than the Miz is.
Well, why is he not there?
Doesn't want to be there.
Yeah, he left, didn't he?
Yeah, he left by choice.
Yeah, he saw that the Miz was going to be champion, and he thought, I don't want to live in a world where that's a thing.
No, Miz was champion when Morrison was there, because I remember the Miz came backstage and everyone was high fiving the Miz and hugging him, and then Morrison come up and hugged him, and then Miz went, I'm not the Jannetty, and then Morrison was like, neither am I, and like Morrison was pretty pissed off. It sounded like he was pissed off. He was like, neither am I, like Miz trying to be funny as he walked away down the corridor with his title.
You clutching the straws here, trying to make the Miz sound like a human being.
The Miz is a real person.
Well, yeah, but he doesn't have the heart and soul of an actual person, though. He's a big, empty corporate shell who is worth nothing. And yeah.
Did CM Punk ever headline WrestleMania and win? I don't know.
Is CM Punk an actual good wrestler and good at what he does? Yes.
Well,
yes, CM Punk did headline WrestleMania. I think it's Jericho.
Oh yeah.
The word versus the best at what he does. Punk won.
CM Punk was not the main event of WrestleMania.
He was one of the main events.
But he defended the WWE title. He can't be champion for 434 days without surviving a WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Yeah, but was he in the main event?
Technically, yes.
He was in one of the main events. He didn't go on last, but
CM Punk has even made a point of saying that it's not the main event. If you're not in the last match, you're not in the main event.
Punk's opinion.
And it's also I
disagree with him that time.
In Punk's opinion, and everyone knows that now. Everyone knows the main event is the last match of the night. That is the main event. No co-main event shit. It's the main event.
But sometimes there is a co-main event, though. So.
No, sometimes it's the main event and only the main event.
And sometimes the Miz is in it, and that's why they should have had more than one main event.
Okay,
Rock and Hogan was like people shouldn't even remember that match because didn't go on last.
No,
that's what you're saying. That's what you're saying.
I'm not saying that.
Sounds like that's what you're saying.
I'm just saying the Rock and Hogan was not the main event.
But it was a main event worthy match.
Main event worthy match, but not.
So it was pretty much the main event.
I'm just saying the Rock and Hogan aren't as good as the Miz. That's all.
Do you mean combined? You mean if you combine the Rock and Hogan together, they still wouldn't be as good as one Miz?
Rock Hogan, no.
And Shawn Michaels, put him in there too.
Yeah. By the way, who is this Hulk Hogan person?
Who knows? I wouldn't bother googling him. He's not worth it.
If I search for him in WWE, will I find him?
Probably.
I'm gonna go search for him in WWE, see what's up.
He's on the streets of Mexico, man. Why didn't you try there?
Yeah, he's worse in the streets of Mexico. Where is Hulk Hogan? What's he done? I don't know.
Hulk Hogan is worse than the streets of Mexico.
No, he's worse off than the Morrison. Not the Morrison, it sounded like the Sheik. The Morrison.
Can you imagine, like, that's what their next reality show for the network should be. Hulk Hogan and John Morrison living in a house on the streets of Mexico.
I'm just searching Hulk Hogan here now on W.com, see what I find. You keep talking about him like it's a thing, let's see. It brings up Ryback.
That's close enough.
I thought that would happen if you start Goldberg.
There's 2,560 results if you type in Hulk Hogan, but nothing is related to Hulk Hogan.
Nice.
Speaking of Hulk Hogan, has anyone seen Santino lately?
Ooh.
I was not speaking of Hulk Hogan.
No?
I was convinced you were going to say Curtis Axel there, because the whole Axel Mania thing.
No, actually, something popped in my head there about Santino. You ever heard him talk in real life? It's a real glass shatter moment.
Yeah, because he's not Italian.
He's nowhere close to Italian.
Yeah.
That's like, I seen him in a movie and I was like, God damn.
How do you know that in the film he wasn't just putting on an accent, though? And maybe he is Italian.
Oh my God, Sasha Banks. What's people's thoughts on Sasha Banks?
She's good.
Oh God, Sasha Banks.
You like her?
Oh God, yeah.
Who do you like better, Sasha Banks or The Miz?
Oh, tough call. I'd have to go for Ms. Banks.
That's disgusting.
The Awesome Boss. I'm just looking here also on W.com, and it shows the Shield when the first entered 3 years ago at Survivor Series.
Mm.
The Shield wore turtlenecks in the first night.
Hey, turtlenecks are cool, man.
Their gear obviously evolved from that first night.
Which is like a Leviathan return for Roman Reigns.
Like a what?
Was that his name? Leviathan? No. Leviathan was...
Do you mean Leviathan?
Was that Roman Reigns?
No, that was Batista, wasn't it?
That was Batista. Yeah. What was Roman Reigns' name in the OVW? I saw there.
I think he was just always.
It was like Leah Kay, I think. What was it, Leaky?
You're thinking Loki.
No, it wasn't Loki, but I can't remember how to pronounce his name. But it was like Leakee is how it was spelled.
Let's find out.
Yeah, you find it out, man. You tell me if I'm right.
He was.
Take your time.
Come on, why is it not? Oh, well, his name. Oh, you might be right. His real name's Lita. No,
his real name's Lita.
Leti.
Okay.
That's his real name, so you're possibly right. Or else you're a massive Roman Reigns fan and you knew this already.
Everybody's a Roman Reigns fan.
It's not given.
Believe that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, believe that. Believe that.
I don't think you guys are believing it.
No, I'm not.
I like Roman Reigns, but I'm not like a super Roman Reigns fan, you know.
No,
but I remember there was a match in FCW, I think, which was Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose versus Roman Reigns, and his name was It was something like Leakee, because I remember I'm like, who the fuck's this guy? And they clicked it. I'm like, oh, they meant Roman Reigns. Oh, and this was like before they were the Shield, before NXT. I think it was like a triple threat, and it's on YouTube. I think it's still on YouTube, and it's a good match if you guys want to check it out.
Oh yeah, you spoke of this before.
I have spoken of this before. I've rated it very highly.
I think it's searched for. I think Rollins won that, didn't he?
Yeah.
Rollins was always best in the Shield. I'll call this since the debut 3 years ago.
I liked the Rollins had this whole hype thing about his entrance. He came out like real like thrashing out.
Yeah.
I when he swung the title around, are you crazy, man?
Yeah, he did it. He did that recently actually. When he beat Cena one time, he like started swinging it about.
Nice.
I think he did it at WrestleMania after the camera stuff. Did it with the world title at WrestleMania. It got half the stage. I've seen a video on YouTube of that.
You're right, Dylan. His name was Leakey.
It's not pronounced Leaky though. That's what threw me. I'm like, Leaky. That's a terrible name, but it's like a Haitian name. It's pronounced Lieki or something.
It's Liaki.
Liaki. Yeah, it's got. I
Yeah.
don't quite know how to pronounce it, but because it's like his Samoan heritage and stuff, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, like see when he was walking away at the end of that main event, he started taking off his bulletproof jacket that he needs.
Leaking. So
what?
He needs the jacket because he's leaking.
Bam.
Oh, shit. But, great one. But no, I thought like it'd be pretty cool if he was like, I'm done with this shit. I'm done with the bulletproof jacket sheen look. And like,
Yeah.
go back to his leaky ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, he needs something. He needs a fucking image change, gimmick change. I don't know, something.
Okay. He needs to be the Miz, is what you're saying.
You know who doesn't need an image change?
Tell me.
Sasha Banks. God damn.
Yeah, she's doing pretty well.
I am going.
He just means that she's hot though. He's not talking about any sort of respectable wrestling ability or anything.
Oh well.
God damn.
But that's
she is like he's not wrong. But
that's how he was talking about the Miz earlier though too. That's why you like the Miz so much, Connor.
What? I fancy the Miz?
Yeah.
You love him. Hang on a second.
You love him. Connor loves the Miz.
I'm not Skype savvy. I don't know how to send you pics.
Oh, there's a wee button in the bottom corner that has a wee like text cloud in it.
Yes, there is. Yeah.
And then if you post it there,
yeah,
it's crazy technology.
Technology.
What are you showing us a picture of?
Oh, you'll see.
It's either going to be Sasha Banks or The Miz, and I really hope it's Sasha Banks.
Oh, you hope it's The Miz?
Yeah. What?
Take your time about it, Connor.
Yeah, dude. How hard is it to copy and paste the fucking image link, right?
Oh, you tell me.
It's not that long, man.
What about Molly Holly, huh?
What are you looking up? How have you gone from like Hulk Hogan to Sasha Banks to Molly Holly so quickly? What are you looking up?
Molly Holly.
Of course. It's so obvious now.
There we go.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Now there is a picture of Molly Holly.
There's some Molly Holly.
Actually, it's just a fucking link.
Check out that bottle of water.
Check out that Molly Holly.
Good lord.
Was Molly Holly actually related to Hardcore and Crash?
No, that was a gimmick, dude.
They weren't related to each other either.
Yeah.
No way.
What?
I thought it was like Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Don't mean to rock your world, but Kane and Undertaker aren't actually brothers either.
Get the hell. Yeah, whatever happened to Edge and Christian being brothers? Remember, like they used to always be brothers. Now they're not.
Yeah, but now they're like brothers. As in, what's up, bro? Like that kind of brothers.
But they actually used to be brothers, didn't they?
Yeah, for a little bit.
They had the whole blood is thicker than water thing because they were brothers. Then it occurred that they weren't brothers.
Yeah, they forgot. They're like, oh yeah, we're not brothers. Oh wow.
Is Liaki and Ambrose brothers?
Yes.
Yeah?
They're brothers, like Edge and Christian are brothers.
Yes. But also biologically they're brothers.
You would actually think they would like the way they talk and the way they talk to each other. See if you didn't watch wrestling and you just got into it. And then like, later tonight you're fighting your brother. Because like, that's like I said, Ambrose, like the Jojo, was like, how do you feel about later on tonight? And you find your brother Roman Reigns. You know, it's like, they're not actually brothers.
Yeah, but I think everybody knows that they're not really brothers, though.
Dean Reigns.
No.
I think we should wrap it up with Mrs. Awesome.
Well, I was gonna say, are there any other kind of thoughts on Survivor Series, or?
Let me see. Sheamus looks incredibly stupid, and Triple H
also looks incredibly stupid.
Has got a big nose. That's all I feel about Survivor Series.
That's all you felt?
That's all I felt. No, in fairness though, I actually marked out at the finish for Ambrose and Owens. Thought that was a great spot.
Yeah.
Like actually, that was the only real reaction that I was invoked from the event. Maybe the figure 4 from the outside of the ring on the inside.
Yeah.
That Charlotte did the Page. I also like that spot. I thought it was
also like the spot where Page was like on top of the barricade doing the whole "This is my house" thing, and then Charlotte speared her. I thought that was a very good spot.
Yeah, it was, but like she didn't do it like quite swiftly, like a Jeff Hardy aerial attack from a barricade or something. You know, it was like very, it was like I think Paige could have seen her coming a mile away.
Yeah, there's not much room on the barricade. It's not like you can just sort of
so it's hard to sidestep on a barricade.
Yeah, it was a good spot though. You're right. It was impactful. I don't think Paige sold the figure 8 very well.
Oh, okay.
She didn't look like she was.
She did.
It was a weird position to do the figure 8 in the finish.
Yeah, great. It's a great finisher though, figure 8, because it's one of the ones she actually bridges at that point. And by the way, I would like to actually have that maneuver done to me to see if it actually hurts more than a figure 4 or bridging the figure 4, or hurt more.
Would you like the Miz to do it to you?
Oh, the Miz is great figure 4.
Yeah.
That move. But what do you think? Do you think they would take the pressure off the figure 4 or bridging?
No, I think it looks like it would make it more painful. Like all the weight goes on the leg that way.
I've yet to see many people sell it that well though. Well, then again, I was just saying Paige may have an off moment, but the only other person I've really seen getting locked into all the time was Nikki Bella. And like you said now, but Bellas, you've got major beef with the Bellas.
Yeah, we could do like a full, like at least twice as long as this podcast. I mean, doing all the reasons why the Bellas shouldn't be a thing.
Maybe we'll save that for the next one.
Yeah, next podcast all about the Bellas. Woo, tune in.
Yeah, that's gonna get people interested, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. We shouldn't do that because it would be boring. But
we probably will anyway.
Very strongly, the Bellas are shite and are only in the position they're in because one of them sucks John Cena's deck and the other one sucks Daniel Bryan.
Oh, this is a PG podcast. This is a PG podcast.
Oh, is it?
Woo.
I have to edit out the stupid tic-tac argument from earlier.
No,
we're not going to cut it out.
If Nikki or Paige hears this, whoa.
I tweeted it up and on that.
But they were already on the rise before the starting out with Cena and Bryan.
They were on the rise before it was publicly known that they were going out with Cena and Bryan.
Maybe that's true. Yeah, maybe.
I don't know, man. I don't have a problem with the Bellas. I think they're alright.
You like everybody. The only person you seem to not like is the Miz.
There's a good reason for that.
But I think there are people who are worse than the Miz.
Okay, we'll end it on this. Go for your least 2 favorites. Yeah, just so, and the Miz can't be one of them.
Very negative way to end it.
Can the Miz be 2 of them?
The Miz can't be even one because I just want to see who Dylan dislikes on the roster.
Oh, dude, I don't know if there's anybody that I hate as much as the Miz. I think he's probably the worst on the roster right now. Really can't think of anybody worse than the Miz.
So there's actually not that many people on the roster I can actually go, oh god, don't like that guy.
Yeah. I just put out Cully and Hornswoggle. I think they were obviously automatically fast forwarded through every time they were around.
I mean, I got 2 right now. I actually got 2, and they're a team.
Okay.
Right. The Ascension.
I think the Ascension are better than the Miz.
Oh, they're much better than the Miz.
I just can't stand
They can wrestle, man.
Did you watch their match on NXT against Jordan and Gable?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
It was awesome, like.
It was good. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it's not their fault, because you told me that they're really good in NXT. Maybe the WWE just books them wrong, I don't know.
I think that's what it is, man. They cut their the push really quick, which was a shame.
Yeah.
In fairness, you told me about their gimmick in NXT and it did sound good.
Yeah. Even just their entrance in NXT was different class. It was right up there with what the Undertaker's entrance is.
Yeah. And speaking of Gable and Jordan and Gable, they're two
They're
great guys.
amazing.
Great guys.
Eventually, they will face each other at the main event of WrestleMania, and I want that fun with the both class.
Well, maybe co-main event will not quite be the Miz level.
Yeah, nobody's that bad.
The Miz wasn't the main event of WrestleMania. The Rock and Cena were. And Miz,
How dare you?
Yeah, the Miz just got.
did as much in that match.
The Miz main event and he won.
Did he though? Did he actually ever really win?
How dare you?
Is that how we're gonna end it? Just talking about how much of a dick the Miz is?
Imagine.
I really think there needs to be a more positive way to end it.
No.
How many dicks do you think the Miz could suck at one time?
No. The Miz can end the show.
Infinity dicks.
Let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this. Who better than Canyon? Huh?
Canyon was a good wrestler.
Who better than Canyon?
Oh, lots of people.
Yeah, it's true. But the same goes to the Miz. Who better than the Miz?
Oh,
lots of people.
yeah, Canyon for one.
Everyone that was on the card last night.
Yeah, pretty much, man.
I so hope Miz makes a return, makes a big rise to the top again.
He's not gone. Like, he was on the pre-show last night. He just sucks.
Yep.
The Miz wasn't on the pre-show last night. What was he doing?
He was in the match.
5-on-5 match.
Was that the Ascension, Stardust? No, who's out two? Missing who?
Was it?
Are you sure?
Rusev?
Yeah, Miz was definitely there.
Was it Rusev?
It wasn't Rusev. What's happened with Rusev though?
Rusev's still out injured.
Is he injured again?
Yeah.
God damn. Bo Dallas and the Miz right now.
Oh, Bo Dallas. Yeah, that's
Bo
right.
Dallas, that's who it was.
Bo Dallas.
Bo. I feel like Bo should be added to the New Day.
That would be
So
weird.
on that note, do you think we should raise our horns and finish this?
I think so, man. About how great the New Day are.
How great the New Day are. The New Day could be the start of the new podcast.
The New Day, they are so good.
They are greater money.
They really are money.
So good.
Yeah.
Alright.
That's what they are.
I'm raising my horn and ban out.
I'm also raising my horn.
There.
Because we're unicorns.
A picture of Sasha Banks' car.
Oh god, no, but... Oh. No, that was good. No. That will end it in that filth.
Of course. Alright, well this was... Well, maybe we'll do it again sometime soon, but...
Yeah, I'm sure WWE will come up with some shit that we can talk about.
Oh, it'll be a matter of days, probably.
It will be. Raw's coming.
I could just calabash for it all.
Oh.
We could do that, man. We got plenty of opportunity to do that.
We would never have opportunities to bash the palace.
Or would we?
We will never be Bella Bashers.